Holy fuck, I found it. Bon Appetit. Yes, this is it. How one of New York City's chefs makes the perfect steak Michelin star. I saw this. It had 1.7 million views. The steak looks so tasty. And I was like, I'm going to watch that with chat. I remember this is from 3 weeks ago when I was browsing YouTube on my couch. And I saved it. And now I'm going to watch it with you right now. I'm so excited. Because I love a good steak. And it sounds so appealing to me to see a pro really fucking make the perfect one. God, that looks good.
I am Daniel Boulou from Restaurant Daniel in New York City, and I'm making my favorite steak au poivre.
Dude, that looks so fucking good.
Restaurant Daniel has always been the restaurant I dream of. We're gonna be making today a côte de bœuf au poivre. Au poivre means with pepper. We do a steak au poivre.
Bro, it's so cute when French people think anyone understands what they're saying, you know? It's just gibberish. I think it's a real language. They think like it's like, just get to the steak, little bro. Just get to the steak.
Poivre sauce where we have shallots and herbs, butter and flambé with cognac.
Fuck, dude.
So here we are starting côte de bœuf, mean bone-in double.
God fucking damn, that looks good. That right there looks so fucking tasty. I'm losing it.
Where we have shallots and herbs, butter and flambé with cognac. So here we are starting côte de bœuf, mean bone-in double steak ribeye. So this is a 34-ounce steak. The good thing with the bone is gonna help keep part of the steak a little bit more rare, and anything you cook on the bone is always better. We put a string to hold the meat tight together. Sometime with the cap, you could lose the cap here. So what defines a good steak is often the blend of fat and lean. It's okay.
It's kind of unrelated, but he did say on the bone is better. I need to ask right now. This is no judgment zone. I need to ask right now, no judgment. Who in chat prefers boneless wings to bone-in wings? Press 1 if you like boneless wings. Press 2 if you like the bone. Yeti, can we please ban every single person that said 1, you disgusting, foul children pigs? Can you please gun them down like the dogs they are? You think it's a no judgment zone for you children? Do you want me to cut the crust off your fucking PB&J too? You children? Boneless wings are disgusting. Grow up. Grow up. Your little adult chicken nuggies. Oh God, dude. Try a wing with a bone in it. Tastes 50 times better. It's not even a wing. It's oh God. There's texture. It's good. It's so much better. Yeah, get flats or drumsticks, of course. I'm not saying you gotta make it a challenge. Back to the steak, but
if you have nugget of fat in the middle, that's gonna nourish the meat while it's cooking, and you can always remove it when you serve it. The first thing you have to do when you cook a thick steak like this is to let it temper a little bit.
I'm sorry. Someone in chat said bone-in wings is some Flintstone shit, and I want to kill myself. Like it's a fucking caveman. Like you're an enlightened person. You're post-Enlightenment era. French scholars learned they could take the bone out of the wing and not be like a caveman. No, dude, you got a bib on and you're eating your saucy little adult chicken nugget. There's nothing enlightened about it. It's not a... Dude, it shouldn't even exist.
So you leave it outside maybe for 20 minutes. Now, if you like your steak...
Wingstop boneless deals are much better. That's called supply and demand. I can give you a pretty good deal on fucking garbage from the bottom of a dumpster. I can give you a pretty good deal on fucking alley feces, dude. I can give you a pretty good deal on inedible slop because no one wants it. There's no demand. Okay? There's no demand. So you have to sell it for a low price to get anyone to eat it. People want bone-in wings at a high demand so they can get a higher price. Bro, next talk about pineapple on pizza. Okay, hot take again. Hot take again. When it comes to pizza, everybody loves to shit on pineapple on pizzas. However, my personal stance is shut the fuck up. I don't like pineapple on pizza, but they have a right to their own taste. That's my. I think there are a lot of different varieties of pizza, and they're all equally valid. You'd think this logic would apply also to boneless wings, but it doesn't. Those are for children, and those are stupid.
Very rare, then don't temper it, but you don't want to eat it cold either. So that's why you want to be able to cook it rare and have it warm inside.
Okay, so wait, just so far so good. So I've created two hardline stances. I have so far created two hardline stances. One, that boneless wings enjoyers are subhuman. And two, that all pizza can be enjoyed equally. So now there's a certain group of people in chat who are thinking I'm based. People that agree on both these things are now thinking, wow, this guy's fucking based. Amen. He's fucking valid. He's speaking truth. And then I've alienated a large portion of people who don't fall into both camps, right? However, now let's make that smaller. Let's make that smaller. Let's get it down to a very small group of people that still agree with me. Because if you willingly choose scrambled eggs over actual fried eggs or poached eggs, you are a degenerate. Scrambled eggs are fine if you are forced to eat them, or hear me out, if they're in a burrito. If they're in a burrito, chef's kiss. But on its own, if it's a plate of bacon and eggs, and you are not having fried eggs or poached eggs or some other kind of egg, and you're like, no, I want scrambled eggs, you are again a child. And I want that to be very clear. Scrambled eggs are so much worse than like a tasty, nice, over medium or over easy egg. Okay? And so now that I have alienated again this group of people and we are down to the true believers, I want to say we're having a meeting. We're having a meeting, okay? It's in Vegas. We'll get some tasty food, steak and eggs. I look forward to seeing you all there. The wings will have bones in. It'll be a blast. We'll hit the pool. It'll be fucking awesome. All right. So see you there.
So the first thing
what's your steak opinion? I'm judgy on this one. I gotta let you ahead of time. I'm judgy on this one. If you guys, I assume it's the same mouth breathers who also have boneless wings. But if you ever say well done for a steak, well, you're done in my fucking life. If you ever say that, I'm a simple all-American medium rare guy. And if you say medium, I will judge you, but I'll do it silently. That's how big I am of a person. I'm a big man. If you say medium, I do judge you, but I won't say anything because it's close enough. It's close enough. I will be like, come on. But I won't say it. I won't do anything. But anything past medium, and I have to call it out. I'd have to call it out. I could be at a dinner with Obama, and he's talking about investing in the lemonade stand, and he orders a medium well steak, and I would say, sir, I'm sorry, I have to walk. There's lines in a man's life. I have to draw a line somewhere. And then on the flip side, if you like it rare, I kind of think you're edgy and cool. I think you're cooler than me. If you're like, I like it rare, give me a little blood. But if you go anything past that, I think you're performative. If you're like, I want it so blue, the cow's still breathing. I want it raw. If you say anything like that, I think, shut the fuck up, dude. Just say rare. I think you're making a meal of it. It's like, do you want the meal to be your fucking steak or this little show you're putting on for the rest of the table?
we do is the seasoning. You salt the outside. This is sea salt. We're using a pepper blend that is made of 6 paper inside. And the 6
He's made it of sex paper? That's why it tastes so good.
paper are from different continents. There is some green, there is some black. Sometimes we have some pink paper. You can use totally only black pepper. I like the fact that many peppers have different fragrance. You can also pre-season your steak, but not too long ahead. I mean, in a restaurant, you cannot pre-season the steak. You get the odor, you season the steak, you cook it, and it's all fine. So, there's so many theory about steak. What I'm gonna do is my theory. So good luck. I wanted to cook my côte de bœuf in my...
Can I say something that sounds strange? Unfortunately for the woker side of my audience, I'm not gay. But I think if I was gay, this would be like the most attractive skill a man could have. And I wonder if someone, maybe a woman in the chat or a bisexual or a gay man could confirm. This feels like so impressive. It feels like just a huge plus that you could like really be comfortable in the kitchen and make something. So, I don't know, just being confident about this is very cool.
Pan, the Daniel Boulou kitchen pan, but if you have a cast iron...
Like, I don't know anything about this guy. This guy could be a terrible person, but I have such positive, strong feelings about him. I think he's got a halo effect. I think he's a good person. Because he's smiling and making good food. That alone is making me think this guy's, he's all right. I'd vote for him to be a leader. It's crazy how much of a halo effect being a good chef is giving me.
Pan, if you have a copper pan at home, as long as you can maintain a consistent heat. I have a little bit of beef fat that is rendered from the trimming of the côte de bœuf. The beef fat has been cooked and also cooked with a little bit of garlic, thyme. So I use a little bit of beef fat in the pan and a little bit of clarified butter. The beef fat can take higher temperature, and it is good to cook in its own fat. But it don't matter if it's a pork chop, if it's a beef chop, or if it's a veal chop. You should always keep the trimming and cook with it. I would say good. medium high.
What is the little string they put around it? What is this? Does anyone know? I've seen this in like cooking things, but what does it do? Why does this exist? Twine, and it's for shape, just to hold the shape, huh? And the twine doesn't burn? I guess not, right? Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, that's cool.
As long as you see the fat bubbling and crippling and making music, that's a good sign. There's gonna be a little bit of smoke, but you don't want too much. You lower, you raise, you make sure that you don't burn your steak, but you sear it well. When you cook a steak, when you use a fork, you don't go in the middle and poke your steak. You always go on the side in a part of the steak that is not the prime meat, but right there, for example, and you can turn it like this. And I'm from Lyon, I love garlic, so I like to put some garlic inside my steak too. So this is only gonna flavor the fat, some thyme. This is just to flavor, and if you feel that it's burning, you take it out. We're gonna give many sear from one side to the other. I'm trying to do a constant turning.
Dude, why is trillions of dollars in my society spent on fucking digital ones and zeros to make us addicted to our phones? Everything in society should be reorganized around getting more of this in people's hands. This is the most truly human thing there is. We all collectively are looking at this steak and being like, this fucking rules. You have a steak like this, your day is better, possibly your week is better. This should be the majority fucking focus.
I wouldn't cook it for 5 minutes on one side,
Obesity rising by 3,000%? I guess you're right.
Minutes on the other. I'd rather go gradually, gently inside. Even out the temperature and make sure that both sides of the steak have the same gradual cooking inside. And you don't want to create a crust that is too well done on the outside and is too uneven between one side and the other. You want the perfect steak. And also, cooking a côte de bœuf at home, if you put too much heat, it'll be very smoky. So you really have to be gentle with the steak and be patient with the steak. And that's why the way I'm cooking here, it takes patience rather than speed. You see, the music never stops. And that's what you want. Is you don't want smoke, you just want music. You can feel it by touching how the meat is still very rare on the inside, yeah. I think we have been doing it now for almost 10 minutes, but that's good. That's how you want to do it at home. You want to be gentle,
no smoke,
not
just
create
music.
too much splattering also with the fat, because that will take you 2 days to clean the kitchen.
We
have a broiler at the steakhouse that goes up to like 1,200 degrees or something, but no one has this type of broiler at home. So here I'm giving you the home version of how to cook your thick steak at home. And if there is any other chef that do it differently.
Wait, this is the home version? So I could learn this. I could watch this video and learn how to do this. I just need to buy the right ingredients. Damn, what if I surprised Ari with the fucking best steak of her life and I made it myself? How fucking sick would that be? She takes one bite and gags. I made it horrendously.
Smartly follow him too. Now my steak is medium rare, so I let it rest nicely. You want the steak, the temperature to get gently into it. So the outside is very hot, the inside still cold. So now it's gonna be warm by the time I finish my potatoes paillasson here. Okay. With my steak, I like potato, I like vegetable. Here we're gonna have this pomme d'arfin. I think it's perfect because it goes well with the sauce. It's tasty, something classic French. So I have potato, I have celery roots, carrots, and my favorite root vegetable, a truffle to go with it. So as you see, I am turning this into a small, medium julienne, almost like matchsticks. You have to be very careful with this tool. It's not recommended to use it if you never used it before. You can use a food processor that will do the same job, but we like it the old-fashioned way here. I have celery roots, the root vegetable inside. You can do any kind of vegetable as long as the vegetable will marry well with the potatoes. So this get nicely mixed. If you don't have truffle, it's okay. I just wanted to show you that during the truffle season, that's what I like to do, to put a little bit of truffle inside.
Truffles are overrated.
If you don't have truffle, you can put mushroom in it. Truffle is very particular because it's basically a mushroom on test.
I've had truffles quite a few times whenever I get taken to some fucking fancy place. It just tastes like nothing. It's like not, and they always make a big show out of it. Oh, this is the black truffle. And I do one place in Vegas that was like insanely motherfucking expensive. It was for like I think it was the early days of Off-Brand actually. And what a waste of money. But some corporation was trying to like pitch. And they bring out this fancy, Off-Brand didn't pay for it. But it is a sign of the excess. They bring out this fancy person who like shaves the black truffle over the thing. You know, it's loaded with it, and it didn't taste good. It was like the worst thing there compared to like some of the other stuff.
Restaurant, you put a little bit inside and it'll give a lot. So here I have a little bit of clarified butter. I rather want to use clarified butter than fresh butter at the start. So again, it's all about keeping the temperature very high, but you can use oil as well. And this is a simple dish, and you can do it with only potatoes and maybe a little bit of onion. What I like also inside this, sometimes it's a little bit of shallots. Just potatoes is delicious. That's the original, just potatoes. And after you put it in the pan, you start to really compress the top, you compress the side.
Yeah, it's just hash
so it become even, and you push on the edge to keep it all together. And the vegetable is going to start to cook gently. So, of course, if you do it just with carrots or celery, it's going to be hard to stay together. But with the starch of the potatoes, hopefully it will stay together. And then what I like is to put a little bit of butter like this. I'm moving lightly.
Split the chat again, fries or taters? I'm not a judgy one on that. I like them both every now and then, but obviously fries. Like if you had to pick one for the rest of your life, it's fries. I don't have to pick one, and so I like taters plenty of times.
Like this, just to even out the cooking underneath and make sure that it's coming out nicely. So you have to make sure that you keep that very much together. And the steam, while cooking, the steam will start to cook the center and the top. You don't want smoke, you don't want too much heat, but you want to make sure that you are always listening to the potatoes frying gently underneath there.
Dude, the way he talks about cooking, where it's like listening to the potatoes, and like when the steak, it's like you have to have the music beyond. Yeah, like it's music. It's just he's so fucking in love with cooking. To him, it's an art.
Too much fat, but in order to cook it.
And that's why I think we should replace his job with AI. That's why I think we should train an AI to cook and just get him out of the kitchen, dude. I think it needs to be a computer handling this. I'm sorry, but I don't like all this.
It nicely underneath. I'm putting a little bit of butter here before I flip it on this part. Are you ready? Because there's only one flip, huh?
I want grok to come.
And if I mess up, Don't blame me, okay?
Ooh,
Voila.
perfect.
You see the browning? It has been gentle.
That looks
It was
good.
done with clarified butter and fresh butter.
That looks good.
It's very crusty, but it's very moist below. And by having browned the potato perfect, already half of it is cooked. Now I just need to cook the other half the same way, and we're gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna let that finish gently here to cook. Now we're gonna finish the steak and the au poivre sauce. What's important, of course, is to use the pan you cook the steak with, but you can remove the garlic, the shallots, the thyme. I had a bay leaf. And basically what I want is all the paper that fell off the beef, what's left in the pan. It's a beautiful beef fat with a little bit of butter. What's important in the pan is what we call the sucre, which is the juices of the beef, the element of the bottom of the pan here. That's gonna go away when we make the sauce. That's gonna give wonderful flavors. I'm gonna give a quick sear to the beef one more time here, just to warm it up. It rested, and I'm putting the juice that was in the pan here. I'm just giving it a quick warm up in the pan. And so now, some butter inside. Don't forget, and in the fat I left of the beef, there's a lot of flavor with the thyme, the herb, the garlic, the shallots already. But I'm adding extra shallots to finish the sauce now. I am putting with the shallots also a teaspoon of pepper that gonna fortify my sauce au poivre. So teaspoon will make that much. I don't recommend to play with this at home, but if you don't have cognac, you can put bourbon, of course, that will be delicious. I have a French cognac here because that's how I make my sauce au poivre. So you don't want the shallots to burn, but to color.
Oh, I'm not doing that at home.
And of course, if you want to make your steak happy, you just give him a little bit of cognac flavor on it before you finish the sauce like this. Voila. And what I like is to, when we do a flambé, voila, is to also give some flambé to the steak as well. We want to burn the alcohol, but we want to keep the flavor of the cognac. By nature of the cognac, the alcohol will burn for sure.
Good.
So I am putting a little bit of beef stock here, which is a sauce we have as a base here at the restaurant. If you don't have beef stock at home to make your sauce, if you have your trimming in the pan and all that, it'll be delicious as well. You can find also demi-glace, which is made with mostly beef. In a freezer of a grocery store, you can find that. So I'm reducing that very well, almost to what we call glace de viande. Not demi-glace, but glace de viande, which is...
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry, I was muted because I was blowing my nose. I was just checking, make sure I didn't say anything in that fucking Squeaks chat, but I just say, want to play 2v2 Battlefront and duel people? Like heroes versus villains? Jedi Sith? I'm so bad at being a hero. And then I said, you're more of a villain. That's it. That's the fucking... That's what was on the fucking screen. Okay? Just had to make sure.
Basically a beef stock reduced to the max. And then I put cream inside. I like my steak au poivre a little creamy. You can have it without cream if you like. So I wouldn't cook it any longer than that. And then what I like to do, that is absolutely not conventional, creamy, but I don't care, is to put a little bit of mustard inside. So that's the little je ne sais quoi that give a little more extra kicks. And so if you want your sauce to be a little cleaner, you can strain it as well. And if you feel then the sauce is a little too shiny and maybe you overcook it a little bit, then the simple thing is to add a little bit of water in it. That's just
Dijon mustard, yeah.
Nothing wrong cooking with water. Very good. It has a nice roasted flavor. It's peppery. That mustard give a little bit also of condiment to it. The shallots, the cognac, all that composed together, make it for a rich and spicy and creamy and delicious sauce for the côte de bœuf.
Fuck, that
so
sounds good.
there is different way to cut the côte de bœuf. In the steak, there is the bone. There is the things around the bone that you want.
Isn't it kind of fucked up that this guy has spent his whole life studying the art of the culinary art of cooking, you know? And he is still not as good as Chili's. I guess that's just a little, it's cosmically sad that he's clearly talented and he's put all this effort in. But if I were to fly out to New York, I wouldn't go to this restaurant. I'd go to Chili. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to get the best of the best. I guess it's just not fair, but he's done a good job with his
To
life.
keep is delicious because it was well trimmed and perfect. And then you have the eyes here, and then you have the ribeye cap.
Do you think if they asked him to make a steak, he did a good job. But if they asked him to make a triple dipper, do you think his eyes would bug out and he would freak out and start sweating and go, oh, I don't know. And he would start knocking things over and try. It just wouldn't be able to come to. I just think he might not have that skill.
Cap. What I like is that everybody can have a little bit of the eyes and the ribeye cap. So first, I will cut the bone. I will leave a little bit of meat on the bone because there's always someone that loves to eat the bone.
Oh, yeah.
So I like to detach the eye and keep the ribeye cap. I like the meat rare in the middle, medium rare around, and well seared on the outside, but not well done on the outside, just well seared. What's important is that you want that crust to be thin, and that's why we gently roast it on both sides to really get that beautiful, gentle crust. So we cut that all the way down. If you don't want to cut it, then you can serve yourself a big slab. It's okay too. And then the ribeye cap, I like to make sure I cut it in a way that you can enjoy because it's a little bit more fatty on the outside. And so you can enjoy the whole roasted side of it. And it's a delicacy, that part as well. It has a different texture than the heart of the steak. With my steak, I like to have watercress. Why watercress? Because watercress is peppery, watercress is spicy, and it goes perfect with a steak like that. And of course, the sauce here.
Dude, going the extra mile for the sauce.
I have my flavored beef fat here that I'm gonna drizzle a little bit over the steak. So this step here is just to bring back a little bit of a beefy, flavorful fat on it and to shine a little bit the steak with that. And then we finish with the fleur de sel, tiny little snowflakes on top of salt.
Salt Bay reference.
Côte de bœuf au poivre, paillasson de racine, sauce au poivre. Bone-in ribeye steak au poivre with a root truffle potato pie. That is my Sunday's lunch at home. Well, it's not every day that we do home cooking at Daniel, but my home is right above the kitchen here. You know, the French, we love our sauce.
Never.
The sauce can be 50% of the steak. That's how I like it.
Damn, this guy's living
the meat and the sauce together is perfect. Tender, tasty, and as you see, the crust here on the sear, that's where also extra flavor is. The sign of a good steak is when there is a good crust. Peppery.
There's no doubt this guy lays pipe like nobody's business. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That was a good looking steak, man. Fuck.